Revolution, where construction meets innovation.
Revolution. Let's build the future together.
All right, so today we are going deep on something pretty cool. You're trying to get your head around something complex, like real estate.
Right.
But wading through all the information, it's a lot.
It really can be overwhelming.
So think of this as your focused guide. Today on the deep dive, we're cutting through the noise, really pulling out the essential knowledge you need.
And our focus today is, well, it's all about data mining and how it's connecting with the real estate world. We've looked at an intro to the Revolution podcast, the one with Dave and Carol.
Right.
And we've also dug into a really detailed article on their website by Christian K. Carl called Data Mining in der Immobilienwirtschaft von Daten zu Einsichten. Basically, data mining in the real estate business.
Exactly. So our mission really is to translate all that. What is data mining, fundamentally? And maybe more importantly, how is it actually, changing the property game for everyone?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's dive in. When we say data mining, what are we actually talking about? What's the basic idea?
Okay, so at its core, data mining is essentially the automatic or maybe semi-automatic process of finding hidden patterns, trends, and, useful insights that are buried inside these huge data sets.
Hidden patterns.
The article also uses the term Wissensentdeckung in Datenbanken, which translates to knowledge discovery in databases. And that really gets to the point. It's about uncovering knowledge you couldn't see easily before.
Knowledge discovery. I like that. So it's not just about having tons of data. It's about finding the valuable bits within it. And it sounds like it draws from different areas.
Oh, definitely. Data mining is genuinely interdisciplinary. It really sits right at the intersection of statistics, artificial intelligence, AI, and database technology.
Okay.
It uses techniques from machine learning, pattern recognition, database management, all to sort of reveal those connections in the data that aren't immediately obvious. Machine learning, which is a part of AI, gives us the algorithms that let us train models on these massive data sets.
Interesting. It feels very current. Very cutting edge. But you mentioned the article, hence it's been around longer.
That's right. I mean, the basic ideas go back to the 1960s, believe it or not. But the real practical application, the boom, that really took off in the 1990s.
Okay.
And that was mostly because of, huge leaps in computing power, suddenly having way more data available and, of course, better algorithms being developed. That's when people really started to see the hidden value locked away in these big data sets.
Gotcha. So, all right, how does this data mining actually work? What are some of the main sort of techniques they use?
There are several key techniques. One is classification. You can think of that as like predicting which category a new piece of data fits into based on what the system learned from past data.
Like spam filters.
Exactly, like spam filters. That's a perfect example. They classify emails based on patterns they've seen. Then you have clustering. That's where you group similar data points together. But the key difference is you don't know the categories beforehand.
So with clustering, the data itself kind of reveals the natural groups.
Precisely, yeah. Another important one is association analysis. This looks for interesting links between different items or variables. The classic example everyone uses is market basket analysis, finding out people who buy, say, diapers often also buy beer.
Right, the unexpected connections.
Exactly. We also have regression. That's about modeling the relationship between different variables, and it's very often used for making predictions about future values.
Okay.
And lastly, there's anomaly detection. This is all about spotting the outliers, the unusual data points that just don't fit the normal pattern. Super useful for things like fraud detection.
That's a really clear breakdown. It feels like these tools are only going to get more important as we just generate more and more data, right?
Absolutely. The article does touch on the future, saying that, as data keeps exploding and AI and machine learning get even better, data mining is just going to become more sophisticated, more powerful. We'll likely see even more innovative uses pop up everywhere.
Okay, so let's ground this in real estate now. The article really emphasizes using data mining for predicting prices and valuing property. How does that work in practice?
Yeah, this is a really big application. This is where machine learning models really show their strength. By pulling together and analyzing just vast amounts of data from all sorts of places, think property websites, historical sales records, demographics, economic stats.
All of it.
All of it, yeah. These models can identify the key patterns and factors that actually drive property prices.
Can you give me a more concrete example? Like, how specific can it get?
Sure. Imagine an ML model built to predict house prices in, say, a specific city district. It could analyze tons of factors, not just the basics like square footage and number of beds and baths, but the exact location down to the street.
Wow.
Its proximity to good schools or public transport, maybe even things like local crime rates or broader economic factors like employment trends in that area.
So really granular stuff.
Really granular. And by training this model on years and years of historical data, it can find these subtle relationships that maybe a human appraiser might overlook and generate pretty accurate price predictions.
That feels like a huge shift. It sounds like it takes a lot of the guesswork or maybe the subjectivity
Yeah.
out of valuing a place.
Exactly. And that leads directly to what are called automated valuation models, or AVMs. Instead of relying just on an expert's opinion or manual comparisons, data mining lets you build models that automatically crunch the relevant data to give an objective, data-driven assessment.
Which must save time and money.
Huge savings in time and resources, yeah. Plus, it brings a level of consistency to valuations that's hard to achieve manually.
And it's not just about pricing now, is it? Can it also give clues about where the market's heading?
That's another major advantage. Data mining is really good at quickly spotting emerging market trends and shifts, maybe noticing certain types of properties selling faster or price increases in specific neighborhoods before it becomes common knowledge.
Right.
And that gives investors, agents, even homeowners a big leg up. It allows them to make smarter decisions because they have a better handle on what's influencing prices and what might happen next.
Okay, so that's understanding the properties. But what about the people, the buyers, sellers, renters? How does data mining help understand customers?
Right. So by analyzing these large customer data sets, real estate companies can get much, much deeper insights into what people prefer, how they behave, what they actually need. Think about all the data trails someone leaves when they're house hunting online.
All the clicks, the searches.
Every click, every saved listing, every search filter used, yeah. By applying techniques like clustering and classification to that data, which pages they looked at, what search terms they use, how long they spent on certain listings, companies can build these really detailed customer profiles.
Okay.
These profiles show what kinds of properties appeal to different groups. Maybe young couples are looking at urban apartments, while another group is clearly focused on investment properties. It's kind of like how Netflix recommends shows, but for houses.
And then they can use those profiles to show people more relevant properties.
Exactly. It allows for really personalized property recommendations. So if someone keeps looking at downtown condos, the system can automatically flag new condo listings for them. Or if someone seems interested in fixer-uppers, they get alerted to those opportunities.
Makes total sense. It's like matchmaking, but with data.
Pretty much. But it can even go a step further. Data mining might help predict future needs. Let's say someone was looking at small apartments, but then their search behavior shifts towards larger homes, maybe in areas with good schools.
Suggesting maybe a family is growing.
Exactly. It could signal a future need for more space, so the company can then proactively adjust what they're showing that person or how they communicate with them. And of course, this feeds directly into digital marketing. Sending tailored emails or ads based on these profiles boosts engagement and hopefully loyalty.
Okay, so we've covered understanding properties and understanding customers. What about the bigger picture? Location analysis, market research. How does data mining fit in there?
This is where it gets really powerful for strategic decisions. Data mining is invaluable for figuring out how attractive different locations are and understanding the broader market forces at play.
How so?
Well, one really effective approach is combining Geographic Information Systems, GIS, with data mining. GIS lets you layer different kinds of data onto maps, so you can visualize geographical info alongside demographics, traffic patterns, economic data, you name it.
So you can literally see correlations on a map.
Precisely. You can see how different factors overlap geographically. By analyzing this combined data, companies can spot areas with high potential for, say, new residential developments or maybe commercial properties.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Data mining might highlight an area where the population is growing fast and average incomes are rising. That signals a promising spot for new housing. Or it could identify a street corner with really high foot traffic and good visibility, making it ideal for a retail store.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of the guesswork out of site selection.
That's incredibly powerful. It's like data-driven city planning almost.
In a way, yes. And it also helps evaluate the existing infrastructure. You can analyze data on how close properties are to good schools, hospitals, shops, parks. All the things that make a location desirable to get an objective score of its attractiveness.
Okay.
And then for general market research, you can crunch historical sales data, look at rental price trends, analyze supply versus demand, all to get a really solid understanding of the current market conditions, which is, of course, absolutely vital for making smart investment choices.
Now, investing in real estate always involves risk. How does data mining help with assessing that risk and managing property assets?
Yeah, it plays a really crucial role here, especially for banks, lenders, and big investors managing large portfolios. Data mining provides a much more sophisticated, evidence-based way to look at risk.
In what ways?
Well, one key area is assessing tenant-related risks. By analyzing historical data, things like payment history, job stability, income, credit scores, predictive models can estimate the likelihood of a tenant defaulting on rent in the future.
So like a supercharged credit check.
Kind of, yeah, but potentially looking at more factors and patterns over time. It gives a more nuanced view of risk. Data mining is also great for understanding market risks. By analyzing historical market volatility and price trends, investors can get a better estimate of the potential for property values in their portfolio to drop. They can even run simulations. What if interest rates go up? What if unemployment rises? To see the potential impact.
Stress testing the portfolio, basically.
Exactly. And then for actually managing the assets, data mining helps analyze the overall performance of the portfolio. You can combine data from different sources, rental income, maintenance costs, occupancy rates to see what's working and what's not.
And make adjustments.
Right. Identify opportunities to boost profitability, maybe through targeted renovations, adjusting the tenant mix, or improving maintenance schedules. It can even help with diversification by analyzing how different types of properties or locations perform relative to each other, helping investors spread their risk more effectively.
So it's really about making the whole portfolio more robust and maximizing returns using data.
Precisely. It helps shift from just reacting to problems to proactively managing the portfolio based on data-driven insights.
What about the more hands-on side, the day-to-day stuff, like renting out properties and managing them? Does data mining help there too?
Oh, definitely. It has a lot of potential to make rental processes smoother, keep tenants happier, and just make operations more efficient overall.
How so?
Well, take tenant turnover. Predictive analytics can look at historical data, how long tenants usually stay, why they leave, feedback they've given, and forecast when tenants might be likely to move out.
Ah, so property managers can anticipate vacancies.
Exactly. They can plan ahead, maybe address issues that might be causing people to leave, or just start marketing the unit earlier to minimize the time it sits empty. That saves money.
Makes sense. What else?
Predictive maintenance is another big one. Instead of waiting for the heating system to break down in winter.
The worst time.
Right. You can use data on the condition of equipment, maybe sensor data, past repairs, manufacturer recommendations, to predict when maintenance is likely needed before something fails. That saves on emergency repair costs and keeps things running reliably, which tenants appreciate.
That sounds much smarter.
It is. Plus, analyzing market data helps optimize rental pricing. You can see what competitors are charging, understand demand fluctuations, and adjust your prices dynamically to maximize occupancy and revenue.
And keeping tenants happy.
Yeah, analyzing tenant feedback surveys, comments, complaints can highlight areas where service can be improved. Are there common issues? Are communication methods effective? Using data to personalize communication and tailor services can really boost tenant satisfaction and encourage them to stay longer.
This all sounds incredibly beneficial.
Oh.
But, like any powerful technology, I assume there are challenges. The article mentioned some hurdles, right?
Yes, absolutely. Implementing data mining in real estate isn't always straightforward. A major one, understandably, is data privacy and security.
Right, dealing with personal information.
Exactly. Collecting and analyzing all this detailed data raises concerns. Companies need to be super careful about complying with privacy laws like GDPR and ensuring that sensitive customer data is protected from breaches.
So what's the solution there? How do you balance analysis with privacy?
It requires really strict data protection policies using strong security measures, maybe technologies like blockchain that the article mentions for secure data handling, and crucially, anonymizing data whenever possible so you can analyze trends without linking insights back to specific individuals.
Okay, that's critical. What other major challenges pop up?
Another big one is data quality and availability. If the data you're feeding into these models is inaccurate, incomplete, or just plain messy, your results are going to be flawed.
Garbage in, garbage out.
The classic problem, yeah. Real estate data can come from many different sources, and it's not always consistent or clean.
So how do companies tackle that?
It takes investment. Investing in good data cleaning processes, tools for integrating data from different systems smoothly, sometimes forming partnerships to access better or more comprehensive data sets can also help. It's an ongoing effort.
All right, so assuming you get good, secure data, you still need people who understand it, right?
Absolutely. The interpretation of data is another hurdle. You can have sophisticated models, but if people misinterpret the results, they can make bad decisions.
So you need the right skills.
You do. It means training real estate professionals to be more data literate and also ensuring data scientists understand the nuances of the real estate market. It's really about collaboration between the tech side and the business side to make sure insights are interpreted correctly and are actually useful.
And I bet just plugging these new tools into old ways of working isn't easy either.
No, that's another key challenge. Integration into existing processes. Many real estate companies have legacy IT systems or established workflows. Trying to overlay advanced data analytics can be technically difficult and meet resistance.
How do they manage that transition?
The article suggests things like taking a gradual approach, maybe start with smaller pilot projects. Using flexible IT systems helps, as does agile project management. And again, close collaboration between IT and the business departments is essential to make sure the new tools actually fit how people work.
Okay, one last challenge area the article touched on was ethics, right? Beyond just privacy.
Yes, ethics and trust. There are ethical questions about how data is used, ensuring fairness, for example, are algorithms potentially biased against certain groups, and being transparent about how decisions are made based on data. The article referenced another piece about the dark sides of AI, which touches on these deeper concerns.
That's a heavy one. What's the approach there?
It involves developing clear ethical guidelines for data use, communicating openly with customers and stakeholders about how data is used, and actively working to ensure fairness and build trust in these systems. It's not just a technical problem, it's also about values.
So quite a few challenges to navigate, but despite those, the overall feeling is still positive about the potential.
Oh, definitely. The key takeaway is that while these hurdles are real, the potential benefits of data mining in real estate in terms of efficiency, profitability, customer satisfaction are just massive. For companies that can figure out how to overcome these challenges, the upside is huge.
Okay, so just to wrap up the main points for everyone listening, we've seen how data mining is really being put to work across the real estate industry. Things like predicting property prices more accurately.
Right, and getting a much deeper understanding of what different customers are looking for.
Yeah, analyzing locations to find the best spots for development or investment.
Assessing risk more effectively, managing large property portfolios more strategically.
And even improving the day-to-day running of rentals and property management.
Exactly. The big picture here is that data mining isn't just some future tech anymore. It's a really valuable tool right now for making better decisions, streamlining how things get done, and genuinely understanding customers in this, complex real estate world.
It really does feel like we're just seeing the beginning, though, which leads to a final thought to leave you with. As this AI-powered data analysis gets even smarter, even more sophisticated in real estate, what kind of completely new services might pop up? Or what major market shakeups could we see down the road?
Interesting question.
And maybe just as important, how does the human side of the business, the agents, the advisors, the managers, how do they adapt and evolve alongside these powerful new tools? Definitely something to keep an eye on.
All right, well, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll catch you next time.
This was Revolution.
Where construction meets innovation. Until next time, keep building the future.